I'm sure. So beloved to be together. What HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants from us during Elul, right? We hear about tshuva, we hear about working on yourself. One thing we have to work on is realizing how much HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves us. And we have to realize how besimcha, like it says, Tachas, Asher lo yavartas Hashem Elokecha besimcha. The Yetzer Hara's Iker, the Yetzer Hara's main sustenance comes from a person feeling down, a person thinking about his Averas, a person thinking about his past, Avera, Malashon Avar. The Iker, the main way that the Nachash, the Yetzer Hara gets a person is when he's not besimcha, when he doesn't feel geshmak, when he doesn't feel lebedik, when he's not in expansion. And Elul and tshuva has a very dangerous. The Yetzer Hara can take care of a person, chas v'sholom, because he can make him feel down, he can make him feel low. He could say, "Oh, I have too much to work on. I have so many things that I have to work on. I'm so far." A person has to be very, very careful with that. Especially Baruch Hashem during Elul, from your Rebbeim, from all of our Rebbeim, from each other. We talk about tshuva, we talk about changing and becoming new, and we talk about all the challenges. We talk about tshuva, and it gets overwhelming. Should I work on this? Should I work on that? But I don't know about you guys, but I know with myself, it's overwhelming because there's a lot to work on. When a person honestly looks inside himself, he sees that he has a lot to do. So I was just thinking, maybe one eitzah. A person doesn't have to go with this eitzah for this week. But I was thinking, Stam, b'derech, us sitting together in Melava Malka, maybe we could just take one midah, whatever a person works on by himself, that's fine. But if we could just talk about one inyan for us to work on, and we're mispal together, and we sing together, and we connect together on this, Amir Tashem, that could give us a tremendous chizuk for the week. Tremendous chizuk for the week. So I just want to talk about one little idea which I think is so appropriate, and it happens a lot, and a person can deal with this constantly. We'll talk about all the different levels of it, not all the different levels, some of the levels. And it's a davar that's pashut ma'od. It's a very simple thing, something that and it's so chashuv, it's so beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. The Gemara Rosh Hashanah, Daf Yud Zayin Amud Aleph says, and we all know this, Kol ha'ma'avir al midosav. Anyone who is ma'avir on his midas, which means he pushes away his midas, like it says, B'chol levavcha, B'chol nafshecha, B'chol ma'idecha. Right? We know Chazal darshan out, B'chol mida umida shemoididin l'cha. Every measurement, every challenge, every situation that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives to you, you have to accept it. So the Gemara says, anyone who's ma'avir al midosef, anyone who passes, like Rashi says over there, that he's not medaktek limdoid nida limitza'arin oisoi. Someone causes you pain. Someone causes you pain. What in action? He says something to you that hurts. Or you look at a person, and that person causes you pain, whether it's because of his atzlacha, or because of the sheker that your mind tells you about him, which you had no clue. But the Yetzer Hara gets it like that. And if a person is ma'avir on that, and he's meniach midoisav, Rashi says, and he puts it aside, and he just moves on. You're not allowed to pass over a mitzvah. So what you do is, you pass over that challenge. Kol hamavir al midoisav. What does it say? Ma'avirin loy al kol psha'av. A person wants to do tshuva. All of us want to do tshuva. All of us want to renew ourselves. All of us want to work on ourselves. And sometimes what we work on is so distant. and we think whether it's hasmada, we think it's getting into a better shear, quote unquote, whatever that means. I have no idea what that means. Whether it means getting into, that people should look at you a certain way, that you should look at yourself, your parents. That's all beautiful things, but those are very, very, very distant things. The things that are close to us, those are things that are easier for a person to dream about. But then a person can get in a bad mood because someone says something to him, his roommate. Zichar, all of you, anyone who has a roommate, no matter if you're his closest friend, you have 3 roommates, 2, whatever it is. I don't have to tell everybody. All the situations we all encounter where we could be maver al midos. We say in Slichas, Ulai yirachem kevushay panim hashoyimim cherpasam. Listen to this. Those who hear their insult, ve'enam meshivim v'oinim. We're going to say in Slichas that a person listens to his insults and he doesn't answer. He doesn't say a word. The Gemara in Shabbos, we know it's a famous Gemara. It's brought down, and the Sil Shishon brings it down in Shar Chasidus. Hane'elovim ve'enam olvim. Those who are insulted, but they don't give an insult back. How hard is that to do? It's so difficult when you feel pain from somebody, when someone hurts you, and you don't respond. Shoymim cherpasam. They hear their insults. They hear them being degraded. Ve'enam meshivim aleim. It doesn't say anything. They don't return. They don't say a word. Like it says, ve'oihavav kitzeis hashemesh v'gvurasoi. That just like the sun is so powerful, so too a person, when he breaks himself and he hears something, he feels something that's challenging for him. How much gevura, how much power. You could be strong in so many other things, but you're so weak when it comes to that, and all of us are so weak. Especially if you're a sensitive person and things hurt you. So the Yetzer Hara makes you get upset about that. Adarab, it's such an opportunity for a person to accept it and to say, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I'm not going to say a thing. The Rambam in Hilchos Tshuva, Perek Zayin, Halacha Gimel says, Choyvas HaTshuva is not just on Averis, rather Gam Al Midas Rais. Shad is when a person works on his midas, that's what Tshuva as well. Reb Chaim Vital says, listen to this, guys. Tikkun Hamidas is Yesoid v'Hakdama l'chol haTorah kula. Tikkun Hamidas is the Yesoid, is the foundation for the entire Torah. L'David Hashem Oiri v'Yishi. Hashem Oiri v'Yishi mimi ira. I have nobody to be afraid of. Mimi efchad. I have nobody to fear. What does that mean? What it means is, we all know when HaKadosh Baruch Hu sends someone to hurt you, when Hashem sends somebody to make it challenging for you, whether it's bepoil, where it's active. If a person active in your life, and all of us have it, a person who is challenging for us, and who challenges us, and makes it difficult, and if a person accepts that, there's tremendous, and he realizes that it's not that person, but he realizes it's from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When a person looks at somebody, and that we speak about all the time, it's also to look at anybody. You're not allowed to look at anybody where they're holding, but sometimes we look and we see, and it bothers us, and it distracts us, and it makes it difficult, and a person has to realize that that's from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's not that person. It has nothing to do with that person. It has nothing to do with anybody. It has to do with you, directly you, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu showing you. And when a person humbles himself and he's mavi al midosav, and he holds himself back and he doesn't say anything. So ma'avirin le'al kol psha'av. It's an eitzah for a person to be zakai b'din. It's brought down that the shofar, the Shulchan Aruch paskins, that the shofar of Rosh Hashanah, we all know, is lezecher the Akedas Yitzchak, which was an aisle. So the halacha is that the shofar for Rosh Hashanah, its mitzvahs with an aisle, and it has to be kafuf. It has to be bent over. Why does it have to be bent over? It's bent over to signify humility. And the halacha is, uv'di'eved, all the shofars are kosher, whether they're kfufim, whether they're bent, or whether they're pshutim.